Hey there, Margarita Alcantara, activator for the new code of power, and I wanted to speak into something that I've been hearing a lot about right now, and it's probably due to the fact that the pandemic is still going, and we're still hanging out in quarantine 4 months later, and it's probably going to continue happening for a while, and in the meantime, life continues, right? And what are you deciding to create in the meantime? How are you living your life right now, right? And a lot of people are questioning themselves, right? They're questioning their intuition. I'm noticing a lot of light workers really wanting to do bigger things and play bigger, but they're getting a little caught up in the whole, I can't tell if that's my fear or if that's my intuition. And so I wanted to cut this video to share with you, and I have some notes here, so if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at what I wrote, so I can make sure I'm on point for you. The 3 ways to tell the difference between your intuition and your fear. And so I'm just going to go right into it. Number 1, the first thing you do to make sure that you can tell the difference, right? Because, one thing I notice about light workers is that they will make it all about signs from the universe, right? They'll be like, oh, well, if I'm not feeling comfortable, then that's a sign from the universe that I should stop or that I should not move forward with this project, right? It's because the universe is giving me a sign, right? Because I feel like there's some fear, right? An indication of fear is not automatically a sign from the universe. Just to clear this up, it's not a sign from the universe that it is not time to move forward. Sometimes when you feel that fear, it's because you're supposed to up-level yourself and meet that fear and transcend it so that you can ascend to the next level, right? But if you stop at, that does not feel comfortable, it does not feel right, or it's a sign from the universe, when really all it is just your fear, wanting to keep you small, right? So let's just be honest here. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not the universe talking to you, and it's not your intuition talking. It's usually your fear. So I have 3 ways that you can tell if it's your intuition talking or if it's your fear or your ego talking. So number 1, check with how it feels, right? Your intuition speaks to you solidly. It's not like yelling out and, being obnoxious or anything like that, right? It's usually pretty steady. It's pretty quiet, but you can hear it. It's not that it's so quiet that you can't hear it. But if you just tap in, you can sense that it's coming through, right? It feels expansive and open. It opens you up. That's one thing you'll notice. You'll feel opened up into the energy if this is your intuition, and especially if it's right for you, right? If it's your fear talking, you will feel constrictive. You will feel like it feels like you're kind of pulling into yourself, or it feels like, nope, pulling back, right? That is fear. That is coming from a place of fear. That is also, if you're trying to decide, is this for me or is this not for me? That's also a way to kind of gauge that, right? Like if it's for you, you're going to feel like, oh, wow. Like even if you're scared, because that might happen simultaneously, right? You'll be scared, but you're like, but I'm curiously open to that experience, right? That's your intuition saying, yes, girl, do it, right? But if your body's like, oh, hell no, then that is usually a hell no for whatever that project is. And, you can always tell the difference, because if it's for you, you will feel that expansiveness and openness. If it's not for you, your body will just shut down. It will close up. That is how you can tell. So that's one way. The second way, your intuition will always encourage you to do something scary, even if it's scary, if it serves you. Whereas your fear will always encourage you to stay small. So again, when I hear light workers say, well, my intuition is telling me it's not a right fit, right? Or my intuition is telling me if this is not how I should be moving forward, right? Usually that is not their intuition speaking. That is their fear and their ego pulling them back into the comfort zone, inviting them to stay small. Stay small, you don't want to be seen, right? If you get seen and if you get heard and if you change your life, loved ones may leave your life, or there will be changes, or I'll have to move, or something like that, right? So the ego will do whatever is necessary, no matter what, to keep you in a state of smallness so that you will not be in that state of fear, right? Whereas your intuition will, it'll be like, oh, that's really scary. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, but I'm feeling called, right? I'm feeling called, but oh my God, this is really scary. Oh my God, I'm actually really fucking scared, right? But then there's that party that's a little naggy, that's oh, I want to do it. I gotta, I'm feeling pulled, right? But I'm nervous, right? That's normal. That's normal. In fact, it's a requirement for you to have that fear when you're about to up level, because that happens guaranteed 100% of the time before you're about to go up to the next level. So the difference there, once again, is that your intuition will encourage you to do something scary if it serves you and if you are going to be called higher, right? You will feel that fear of the implementation, of the invitation to ascend. You will feel that fear. But that is completely different from your fear that is saying, oh, let's stay small. Let's stay small. Let's not go there. Let's just be small. Let's move in with the wallpaper. Let's be invisible, right? That's completely different. That fear is there to keep you small. So know the difference. Are you being invited to play bigger? Or is it your fear saying, let's stay small? So that's number 2. Point 3, it's coming from the heart and not the head, right? Because, if I had a dime for every single light worker who's like, I need to think about this more. I need to process. I need to think. I need to obsess. I need to ruminate. And it becomes this whole thing, right? And the reality is that you're a light worker. You know immediately, right? You know that, right? When you trust your intuition. And when you trust your intuition, it comes from the heart. It comes from the corazón, from the puso, right? And when you're in your head, that is not your intuition. That is you trying to rationalize and create logic and make things feasible and make things linear. That has nothing to do with your intuition. And I know you're going to say, but it is. That is my intuition. It is not. I've been doing this for many, many years. It is not your intuition. That is you justifying your fears and your limitations, right? When you're in your head, let me think about this. Let me ruminate. Let me process. Let me create more logic and more fear and more blocks for myself, right? When all that is required is tapping into your heart. Your heart knows all. It never lies when you're tapped into your heart for real, right? So even those people who are but I've trusted my heart before and it gave me the wrong information, right? Then either A, you were not tapped into your heart and you thought you were, or B, you failed to see the lesson in the divine connection that you were brought into, the new level that you were brought into and invited into, right? So to recap, 3 ways to tell the difference between your intuition and your fear. Number 1, check into how it feels. Number 2, your intuition is always encouraging you to do something scary if it serves you and brings you higher and makes you bigger. Or your fear will always encourage you to stay small. Number 3, coming from your heart is when you're coming from your intuition and not the head, which is when you're trying to create some logic from it. And that's really based on fear, honestly. So that is the way you can tell. Those are my 3 tips. So I hope that served you. And I'm also going to be doing something very, very special for my clients. If you are on my email list, if you're on my email list in my community, in my tribe, I have something very special that I'm cooking up for you. So if you're not yet, make sure you're signed up on my email list by visiting me at alcantaraAcupuncture.com and sign up with your name and your email address to get your free gift, which is my Starseed activation video. And you'll also be added to my email community so that you'll be getting tips and tricks on up-leveling into your power, and also you'll be abreast of my recent offers. So go ahead, join us in that community, and I have something very special for you. See you there.